Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this session on IRIS. So it's to help you prepare for your CTA tests. My name is Richard Wright. I'm from ADOVH, and I'm joined tonight by David Harperstad, that's also part of ADOVH, and Denzel Chetty to help you in the chat as well. And then we've also got Dr. Ramushwane. She's an academic within CAS. And I'm actually going to give her a quick opportunity to also just welcome you for tonight. Doctor, you can go ahead. Oh, just
Thank you,
unmute.
Richard.
There we
Thank you,
go.
Richard. Sorry, I had not unmuted myself there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As my colleague Richard has introduced me, I'm Kibara Mushwana. I'm the chair of Department in Financial Governance, which is the department that houses auditing, accounting, and the capstone module for CTA. And I've got my other colleagues on the call as well, who are the team that works with me at CTA. And then there are also my other colleagues from the other department, which is the Department of Financial Intelligence. That's the department that houses taxation and management accounting at CTA. So the purpose and the objective of today's training is to ensure that we prepare you guys for the upcoming test and all the other tests thereafter in terms of the proctoring tool that we use, being the IRIS tool, and all that you need to do is to make sure that you download the tool beforehand. You must make sure that you run it on your laptop, and then so that on the day of the test you don't have issues. Just a little reminder, the test is going to be written on the 2nd of April. It was initially supposed to be written on the 26th of March, but due to administrative issues as well as the registration that has not been finalized by some of our students, the university has then made a decision to extend the registration, and as a school we were therefore forced to make sure that we comply with that by allowing all our students to at least be fully registered before the 2nd of April when they write the test. So it's imperative that you pay attention today to what my colleague Richard and his team are going to be presenting to you. It's all to make sure that come the day of the test, you don't have any issues, you understand how IRIS works, and then you are fully prepared to take your test on IRIS without any glitches. Just to note, most importantly, you need to have a laptop that has got a webcam camera that is working in order for you to be able to take the exam and use IRIS. Unfortunately, a smartphone does not work. We need a laptop with a webcam camera, and all the requirements, as you are aware, they've been on this website when you were doing the registration for this course. So I'm going to hand over to Richard, and please allow Richard to go first through the presentation before stopping him to ask a lot of questions, unless if Richard, you prefer it otherwise, but let's be able to be allowed to finish the presentation so that we can be able to take as many questions as we possibly can. Over to you, Richard, and thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, so we're going to go through a short introduction, just to get you briefed up about what the process is. And then we're going to have a look at how IRIS works. And then we're going to do a demo on there. And hopefully you will also be able to follow along perhaps on your side with the mock exam. But we will be sharing all the links so you can go and practice it afterwards as well. And then afterwards, we will open up the session for questions if you do have any questions. Now, firstly, I want you to be able to access this site. I'll post a link in the chat now, but you can also scan this QR code with your phone or write down the URL. So it's just bit.ly/myexamsguide. just remember the exams and guide has to be an uppercase. But I will post a link in the chat now. So I'm just going to type here at the top. So this is actually the UNISA open courses, and I'll show you exactly which course we want you to access. So the one that we will be looking at is the preparation for basic skills for online exams. And the reason why we're working on this one is because this got all the proctoring tools built in on mock exams that you can actually go and have a look at the guides, and you can do practice to make sure everything is working on your side. So I'm just going to wait for the chat quickly to load so I can paste the link. Fortunately, we've chosen a day where the whole world decided that the internet is stopping. So luckily, we are able to actually connect tonight, but hopefully we won't run into any big issues along the way. Okay, so I pasted a link in the chat. So if we scroll down on this page, if you open it up on your side, you can go to proctoring tools. So it's lesson 3 proctoring tools. And we will be looking at iris invigilation. So I'll come back to this as soon as we've finished with the presentation. So as I mentioned, you can write down this URL that's on here, or you can just click on the link that's at the in the chat. So remember, your tests are also going to be submitted on the My Exams portal. So make sure you know how to access the portal. I'll ask my colleague as well to just paste in the link in the chat as well. So it's cas.myexams.unisa.ac.za. So just make sure you've got access to that site. You can actually go and test and sign in already. Now, just remember, when you sign in, you use your MyLife email address. So if you click on the link, it will take you through to the Microsoft sign in. If you tried today, you probably had quite a lot of problems because the whole logging system was off. But as far as I know, everything is back up and running now. So just go, if you had trouble earlier, you can go test it out now. So you just sign in with your MyLife email address. That's your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. You can click on next. You put in your UNISA password, sign in. And remember, if this is your own device, you can always select yes to stay signed in. If you're using a lab computer or a borrowed device, rather say no, you don't want somebody else to get access to your account. So on the exams portal, you will just click the drop down and then select the module for which you will be writing the test. So if we look at how you access your papers, is you first log into the CAS My Exams site, you select the CTA course, you open up the test, you download the test to your device and print it out, the answer sheet. Iris will automatically pop up. So once you printed out your sheet, you can complete all the steps within Iris, start the invigilation, and then once you're done, you're going to scan in your answer sheet and then upload it back onto the site for your assessment. So just remember, so you will need a scanner or an app on your phone so that you can scan in the documents. So preferably scan it into a PDF file. So upload onto the CAS My Exam site once everything is scanned in, and then you can just go to submit back on the iris to complete the invigilation process. And from there, it will upload all the recordings and all the information it has, and then it will give you a confirmation once done. You will also get an email to say that the uploading has been completed. So just to really emphasize it, remember, download the paper, print it, Iris will start, you go through the steps, you basically write, and then you scan and upload to the course site, and then you stop Iris after that. So you might be thinking, oh, what tool can I use to scan in documents to PDF? So luckily, with your MyLife account, remember it's a Microsoft account, so you do get access to all the Microsoft 365 apps. So if you're going to be using your phone to scan in a document, you perhaps have a look at OneDrive. So it's the same OneDrive that you get on your desktop as well. So you just go to your App Store, download OneDrive, and you'll see at the bottom it's got this little icon that looks like a camera shutter. You use that, it can actually scan in your documents. And what's nice about it, it really saves it automatically to PDF. It actually makes everything, crops the paper so that the page is almost like it was scanned in with a normal scanner. So really, if you're going to have a look or you want a scanning app, have a look at OneDrive. But you can use any other ones that you prefer, but just make sure that it can actually save to PDF. So another website that I can also recommend is, say you take pictures, for instance, or you end up with multiple PDF documents. There's a nice website called ilovepdf.com. And this actually allows you to merge PDFs, even split it up, or if you want to reorder it, and you can even convert images to PDF and even compress it. But if you're going to be compressing the PDF documents, just remember to make sure that it's still legible before you upload it to the exam site. But if you find that your file is very big, uh, there is this option to compress it on this website called ilovepdf.com. And then very importantly, remember you're going to get guidelines. Read those guidelines. They are there really to set the rules, to say what you may or may not do. And remember to submit on the platform within the allocated time, as they won't necessarily allow for late submissions. Okay, so this brings us basically to why we are here tonight. And this is the Iris Invigilation tool. So we're going to go have a look through what is this tool exactly, and then we will do a demo as well. And I'm going to share the links with you so you can follow along where you are, or afterwards go and do the mock exams as well with Iris so that you can make sure that everything is working. So this is basically a software program that runs on your desktop or laptop. So remember, there is no mobile version that UNISA uses. So if you find an Iris one that is for mobile, it's not the one that's being used by UNISA. We only use the desktop version. And as you can see, it records audio, video, and captures your screen. So very importantly, that's why you need a working camera, a working microphone, preferably also a working speaker so that you can hear some of the instructions that it gives. And then it will capture your screen as it goes along, at certain time intervals. So it will just take a screenshot of your screen, basically. So remember, you do need a stable internet connection. With the newer versions, it does work offline during the examination period, but for the beginning and the uploading, you will need an internet connection. You will need a laptop or a desktop. It must have a built-in microphone. Remember, you may not use any headsets. And then the working web camera. And remember to have a look at your computer, make sure that it is able to run it. It does use some resources when you run Iris Invigilation. So that's why it's important to do the test, the mock exams that we'll show you. Take it almost like a real life scenario to make sure that everything is working. So Iris is available for Google Chrome and for Microsoft Edge. So it's an extension that you download. You only need to download it once, and it will be on your computer, and it will then open up automatically when you get to a correct site for a test submission site. So I recommend using Microsoft Edge if you're using a Windows PC, and the main reason is because it uses less RAM. But if you prefer Google Chrome, you can also use that, but it does work on both of them. What I can also recommend is have a backup. So if you have it installed on Microsoft Edge, perhaps also have Google Chrome installed, even though you're not going to be using it, but with the extension. So if the one gives you a problem, you can quickly switch to another browser just in case you do have any problems. So to get it, you basically can navigate to the Google Chrome Web Store. So you can go also to the Microsoft Edge Web Store, and I'll show you exactly now step by step how to download it. You go to extensions, you search for Iris. Make sure that it is this, offered by EIT, and it's got this icon. So you don't want to accidentally download an incorrect app. So just search for Iris. From there, you can then add the extension to your browser. Once it's added to your browser, you do not need to do anything else. It will go do the mock exam and it will pop up automatically. So when you're going to be writing, remember open Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, you log into the exam site, you go to the course, you open up the assessment and Iris will start automatically. So when you're going to get started with Iris, when it pops up, the first time you will need to agree to the user agreement. So this is generally also just the first time you access it. So have a go test it out, let it pop up, agree to the terms and conditions. You have to agree to the terms and conditions. You don't need to necessarily consent to check the consent box and then press continue. Then the first time it will ask you to allow your camera. It will ask you to allow your microphone. Please don't accidentally select how can I say, the block, because then you'll have to go into your settings and reactivate it. So just remember, the first time you're going to access it, look out for this pop-ups that comes from your browser to allow the camera and the microphone. And then from there, it will take you through the setup process. So we will go through this step by step. So you need to make sure all the checkboxes are ticked. And once they are all set up, then you can start the assessment. Now remember, it's going to ask you for your student number. So don't put in your ID number or any other numbers. It must be your student number without any spaces, just the number. And it will also ask you to scan in identification. So remember, this can be your ID document. If you've got a UNISA access card, you can scan that as well. But any documentation where there's a photo of you to make sure that it is you that's actually writing. So once you follow the instructions, it will start the phase, I can say tracking. It will ask you to share your screen. Very important here, you may only have one monitor. So remember, if you've got multiple monitors, rather unplug them. And then we'll also have a look at the final stage where you submit. So basically, once you have done, you've written, you scanned in, you uploaded, and then you can do the submission. It will give you the screen where it runs through uploading everything. And once it's done, it will say process sequence successful. You know then basically that you have submitted successfully. So just a few tips that to really hone it in is, remember, only runs on a laptop or desktop computer. It only works with Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. Computer requires a microphone and a camera or webcam. So just make sure you've got all of these and they are working. What some of the feedback we got as well from the previous test is make sure that your computer is able to fast enough to run the invigilation process, the invigilate or Iris extension. So I would really prefer if it's, although they say Windows 7, rather Windows 10 with up to date, make sure that you've got enough space that it can use or run productivity applications, smoothly. And obviously you need to have the latest Chrome or Edge. And remember, no headsets. Preferably, it must have a working microphone, a camera, sound just for some of the notifications, and then also Wi-Fi connectivity or network connectivity. Remember, also some of the feedback we got from previous sessions is if you're going to go to a place where you've got internet to perhaps write with your laptop or do the test with your laptop, remember to take your chargers. Take a device where that's not faulty, and remember, I always say it doesn't need to be your device. You can even borrow a device that's suitable for the test that you're going to be doing on the day. So if your device is not suitable, borrow somebody's device or see where you can access a device that you can use for the day. Okay, so before we continue, I'm just going to go through on this page. So I'm going to share this link with you now as well for the mock test. So if you go in here, there is a short video clip as well that takes you through the process. Some of the interface elements have changed, you will see now, but the steps are more or less exactly the same as per the guides on here. So, but most importantly, I want you to access this one at the bottom, and that's the IRIS mock exam. Now notice here, you need to log in. So what you need to do is, it's exactly the same as you do for my modules and the My Exam site. You click on this button to say that you are UNISA student, and then you click on this button to sign in with your My Life email address. So it will take you through all those steps that you usually get. And I would always say, go make sure you can sign into the site. This is almost one of the first steps to make sure that you have a working My Life address and password. If you have problems with these, you need to be in contact with a digital learning advisor that can help you sort out any problems that you might have with your account, especially now that they moved over to two-factor authentication. So make sure you've got two-factor authentication set up and that it is working. It will be automatically enabled on your device, but the problems that they're finding is a lot of, the cell phone numbers that is on record doesn't perhaps match your existing cell phone number. So make sure your information is up to date and that you can access your My Life email account. Then you should not have any problems logging in. So I've shared the link in the chat, but it's also with that first link. If you go to, just scroll down to the proctoring tools and then select the mock exam. So on this page, we've got two different types of mock exams. There's an MCQ assessment that we won't be looking at. We will be focusing more on the IRIS file upload because this is more similar to what you will be doing. So as you can see, this site looks more or less exactly the same as the My Exam site. It uses the same platform. So everything will be as per your day of assessment. So if you go here, you'll notice if I click on here, nothing happens. Why? Because I don't have the extension uploaded. So if I scroll back, if I go here to my browser settings at the top, click on the three dots, you will have this extensions button. So I can just click on there, and then I can open Microsoft Edge, for in this case, on the website. And here I can then search for IRIS. So remember, if it's going to be using Google Chrome, it will be the Google extension store. But because I'm using Microsoft Edge, I just click on these three dots, click on extensions, and then from here, open the Microsoft Edge store. You can also click on the, how can I say, manage extensions to get to the store as well. So from here, I'm just going to type in IRIS. So as we mentioned, it should be this one with this icon over here. So make sure that you download the correct one. So you just click on Get. So it will ask you just to add the extension. And there we go. We've got the extension on our browser. So if I click now, it looks like a little puzzle piece that will show at the top. It will show that IRIS, the extension, has now been inserted. So I'm going to copy this link as well. If you're using Microsoft Edge, you can go directly to this link. If you are using Google Chrome, I'm just quickly going to go back here to the exams, the proctoring tools. We've actually got on here, oh, sorry, wrong one here. If you go to the lesson 3 on proctoring tools, if you go here to Iris Invigilation, we actually link here to the official Iris website as well. And this is really, because this is an external tool that we are using, I would really recommend to go have a look at this website for support. So if you have any problems, this is generally where you can come for, frequently asked questions. They've got a lot of list of, previous, how can I won't say problems, but also, different setups that perhaps have to be considered. So have a look through here. Make sure that you read the latest manuals. And as you can see here, they've got the links to the Google Chrome Store and then also to the Edge one where we were now, so that you know you're downloading the correct one. Okay, so once you've got your Iris installed, so if we go back now to the Iris Invigilation, so what should happen is when I click on here, it should pop up. So this is what, as you can see here, Iris is loading. Please wait. So the first thing, as I mentioned, you have to agree to the terms and conditions. As you can see, it won't turn blue that you can continue. You can also consent for data usage for research and product improvement, but it's not a requirement, but you have to agree to the terms and conditions. So we press continue. So here's the first error that we encounter, and that is it picks up that I'm using multiple monitors. So if you've got a multiple monitor setup, like I do at the moment, you have to unplug your one monitor. So what I'm going to do is just quickly just switch off the one monitor. Then I can close this. I can go back. So remember, if you have any problems, just go back to the main page, click on the link again, and then it will reload. So again, I just agree to the terms and conditions, and now I can continue because now I'm only using this one monitor. So it's going to ask me for my available webcam. I press next. Available microphone, select the microphone. You see here at the side, it's got a volume indicator as well. We'll ask you for your name. We'll ask you for your student number. So just type it in, not with any spaces or any dashes, just the student number. Now here it will ask you to capture a photo ID. So remember, this can be your ID document. It can be even your work access card, as long as it's got photo identification. So if you've got a UNISA access card as well, you can use that. I'm just going to hold this one up here to the screen. Just there. I'm going to say capture. So that's all you do, capture your ID document or any photo verification. So here, the next one, they ask if you do a 360-degree full rotation. But so what you can do is if you've got a laptop, it's easy. You just pick up your laptop, swirl it around. If you're on a desktop PC, you can just take your webcam, to also just rotate it to show quickly what is in the surrounding. So you just scan it, stop scan, and then from here, we can continue to next. So this is where a lot of students also usually have problems is with sharing the screen. Take note of this pop-up that comes here. It clearly tells you there's going to be a pop-up. You have to select the screen and then select share, else you won't be able to click on the share button. So I'm going to press OK. And so from here, I can now select this button, share screen. You can see it pops up here. It's grayed out. I can't click on it. I have to select on this one. I've got feedback from some of the staff members as well, that during, for instance, the exams, some students had the problems where this pop-up does not appear for some reason. So that's why it's very important to always do the mock exam first, make sure everything is working. You don't want to go through the initial setup phase on the day of the test or on the day of when you're writing exams. So I'm going to click here, share. So I said click on the screen that I want to share, and then I click share. And then I can go next. And now I can start my assessment. So it takes you through all these steps, make sure everything is ticked, and then you can start the assessment. So basically by this point, I have now downloaded, say, my question paper. I have perhaps printed it out if it's an answer sheet that you need to fill out. And now I go and write. So remember, you'll be writing it out on a notepad or on the answer sheet. And then I'll be basically using this allocated time for that purposes. So once I'm done, I go and I scan in my documents. So I can use my phone, for instance, the OneDrive app, and then send it to myself, say by email, anything. So I can get it on the device, or I can even on my device go to the portal as well, and then go and add a submission. So basically, while the app is still running in the background, I will go here, I will add submission. You will get this message, for instance, Iris is sharing the screen. Remember, don't click on stop sharing. It should be on here all the time. So I go add submission. I go here, I select the file button. So I want to choose my PDF document that I scanned in. Let's quickly wait for this to load. Now, just remember, if you get to this page, remember to select, upload a file. If you accidentally select anything or other on the left directory, just always go back and make sure you select upload a file. So if you accidentally click, for instance, recent files or any of that, the one you're looking for is upload a file. So from here, I can then go to where I've got, for instance, my file that I can upload. So I'm just going to go here quickly. I've got a example PDF over here. So I'll select my PDF. Remember, if it's a bigger file, always make sure the name displays here before clicking upload this file. That's just to, sometimes it takes a bit longer to upload. And if you click upload this file before the name appears here, it will tell you that there was an error, but actually it was still just uploading. So just make sure to select upload a file, let it upload, it will display over here. I'll save the changes. So just remember on this page as well, it will give you the maximum size of the file, how many files you can upload, and also what types are accepted. PDF is generally your safest route to go, so rather scan it into a PDF document. So from here, we just save the changes. And what I always advise is scroll down, click on the file again, so that you open up the file. Make sure it doesn't have a password protected, that is legible, all of those aspects. And if you still have time, you can always go back and then edit the submission to upload a new file if there's anything wrong. But click on the file that you uploaded to make sure that you uploaded the correct file. Because we all know an example, when you got the time crunch, you do sometimes accidentally make mistakes. So just make sure of that. So basically, I've uploaded my file. So now I can go back to the Iris Invigilation. I'm just quickly going to find it here on my screen. There we go. So now I can say finish recording. So you'll see here at the side how it face tracks you to see where you are looking, all kinds of things. It even records the sound. Every now and again, it will actually do a screen grab as well of your desktop. So just make sure that it is always running in the background. Once you're done, you click on finish recording. Do you want to continue? Yes. So you have to slide it all the way over to make doubly sure that you do want to end the invigilation process. So here it will then basically start with the uploading process. You can see here's the logs, all of that being uploaded in the background. So just let this run. Remember, you already now submitted on my exams, so your file has been submitted. So now you can just let this run and upload all the files until it tells you successful. It will give you at the top a status as well. Obviously, the audio files are bigger, so that will run. But you will also receive an email to say that it has successfully uploaded. But you can just let all of this run in the background until you get this message: file upload completed, proceed sequence successfully, and then you can close it. So during this process, you can minimize it so it will run in the background, but at the end, you can just close the window. If you're waiting very long, say over half an hour, have a look at your My Life email to see if you don't perhaps have an email that said it's already been successfully submitted, because they have been reported on some slower computers that it sometimes do get stuck. So just remember to always have a look at your email as well. And if it gets really stuck and you didn't get an email, then you can reach out to the support teams that are available. So from there, I can close it up. So basically, we went through the entire process of how to submit with Iris, from installing the Iris extension to setting it up for the use for the invigilation, accessing the mock exams. So I would really emphasize, have a look at this website. Go and make sure you do the mock exams. You can even do it now, and then you know everything is set up, and then you can just focus on your preparations for the day. So I'm just quickly gonna enable my screens again. And then I'm gonna hand over to David. He mentioned that in the chat that he's got a few questions, picked up a few common questions that we can perhaps have a look at before we open it up for any questions from the audience. So David, over to you.
Hi, Richard, and thank you, students, for joining us. Okay, I've got about 7 questions. I know Teams is messing about a little bit, but I managed to get some questions down. Okay, the first one is, can I type in Microsoft Word and then save as a PDF and upload? Or do I need to write it on paper? So that question came up quite a few times.
Yes, so for that one, we will pass over to the academics. Doctor, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. The students are supposed to write by hand and then scan the handwritten submission and upload it. Thank you.
And do they
Okay, so
write it out on an answer sheet, or is it any note paper that they can use?
They write it out on any answer sheet, either a normal ordinary exam pad or just anywhere where you can write it down and then just scan it and then you upload it. Because for our tests, the students are writing online from their respective homes. So we don't provide them with a UNISA answering book. It's only during the exams that the university provides them with the answering book. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. David, you can go ahead.
all right. Okay, good. All right, so that kind of then answers that question, because the next question pretty much is linking to the typing, is the printing. What happens if I don't have a printer? What am I meant to do?
So basically, you'll just use a normal exam pad and then write out. So you can have the question paper then open on your screen while you are writing you by hand on the note paper. So you don't need to then necessarily print out so it's not an answer sheet that you need to print. You just do it on normal exam pad.
All right, cool. Thank you, Richard. The next one is, can I use 2 screens? I think if the student was paying attention, you would have seen that with you switched off the second screen, so it only runs on one screen. Is that correct?
Yes, so it will detect
Okay.
if you have multiple displays, so you won't be able to continue. So as I did, I just basically you can press Windows and P and select, only use one display. So it's very important, that you only use PC screen only, else it will pick up that you've got two screens and it only records to one screen. So you won't be able to use multiple displays.
Okay, good stuff. So students, only one screen available, only use one. With Apple devices, I see there's a couple of students asking this question. Can they use their Apple or their Mac notebooks? Does Iris work on the Apple operating
Yes.
system?
So it does work on the Apple operating system. So that link I shared earlier, just have a look here at the official Iris website. And they do actually have a section here. I think I saw it, how to enable device permissions on Mac. So just follow the guides on here. I'll post it in the chat again. If you've got an Apple device, a Mac basically, remember you won't be able to use it on your iPhone, but it will work on your Mac laptop.
All right, super. So there we go, students. So there is support for Mac devices. If I don't have a laptop and I've only got a smartphone, what's going to happen? Simple answer, guys. Iris only works on your laptop or your desktop. It does not work on smartphones. Therefore, you're going to need a laptop. I think that one is, yeah, we've covered it. And then how many minutes am I given for scanning and uploading my answer?
Can I come through there, David?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. The students are allocated about 30 minutes at the end. So that's the communication is still gonna come through to the students, which details to them from in the morning, how many tests are they going to write, but this is how it's outlined. As the students have their for CTA level 2, they are going to be writing 4 modules for every test. So why it's different between CTA level 1 and CTA level 2 is on the basis that for CTA level 2, they have got one accounting module, which is FAC 4866. And then it simply means they'll be writing 2 tests in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. But for CTA level 1, they've got 5 modules. The accounting for CTA level 1 is split into 2. It's split into an IFRS module and a consolidated module. So for the CTA level 1 students, before lunch, you've got 3 tests that you are writing, and then you've got 2 tests in the afternoon. You don't have to upload immediately after every test. You can write all the 3 tests and then you upload. You'll have 30 minutes to do that whole upload. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Doc, Prof. So there we go, students. I think you pretty much cleared that one. And then the last question that I've got is, do I need a stable internet connection throughout the exam or only when I upload my data?
So with the latest release of Iris, it does work offline. So if there's any interruptions, it will continue. But preferably, if you can, have a stable internet connection throughout the entire time. But you will need an internet connection when it starts, and obviously at the end when you need to upload. So during that time, if there are internet interruptions, the app will continue functioning.
All right, thanks, Richard and colleagues. And I see the last, it's not a question, but I see a lot of students were just saying their connection for today's evening event wasn't great because as you were presenting, they were only seeing certain parts, most likely internet connection. But students, please check the chat. We have posted the course site, Basic Skills for Online Exams. We've posted a few times. Make sure you access that resource, work through all that resources that is there, especially for Iris, because it will definitely help you prepare. And then as Richard has showed you guys, we also do have the recording that's also on the site so that you can always go back to it and watch it again and just get yourselves ready for your exam. So on my side,
So
Richard and colleagues.
so David, yeah, I
That's
just
it.
want to add here. So the recording will be uploaded just after the session. So it won't appear there at the moment, but the recording will be uploaded to YouTube. So it makes it a bit easier and lower data usage to actually watch. So I'm gonna post a link here so long. So just remember it won't be there yet, but just after the session we will upload it. Now I do see some other questions in here. For instance, say I need to go print or scan in the documents in another room. Remember, if you can take your laptop with, take it with. If you can't, what I always say is speak and tell it what you are doing. So even if you have to go to the bathroom, just in the camera, just say, I'm quickly going to the bathroom. Just in case it does get flagged, remember, a flag is not automatically that you're going to get 0 for it. It actually means somebody is going to actually look at that part. It only captures that part that was flagged, and that will be sent to the moderator. They will have a look to see if any academic dishonesty took place. But if you they go there and you say, I'm just quickly going to the bathroom, go out, you come back in, they know it, what you did, or maybe I just quickly need to go scan in the other room, as long as they know what you are doing. So that's why I always, have it almost a conversation like when you're doing something that you need to, where you're scared you might get flagged, just tell in the camera what is happening at that time. Okay, yes, I see actually, Daniel, do I talk and inform the camera that? Yes, you do. Is an external mouse allowed? Yes, you can use the external mouse. It's just not headphones. So as you can see tonight, I was using headphones, so I would have gotten 0. So please don't go watch the recording and then tell everybody, oh yeah, the headphones are on, so I can also have. So yes, we answered the room for leaving the room. So we have established you get 30 minutes afterwards to scan in. Thank you, Moipole, for actually also helping out with the questions. I don't see really any other ones, so I'm going to have a look. So what will happen now is if you have your hand raised, I will allow you your microphone. So you can now unmute from your side and just ask any questions you have. So, Faber, you can go ahead. Sure. Allow mic. Don't know why it switched your mic off again. So you can just unmute from your side. I think it dropped away. So the next one is Mpo. You can go ahead. Just unmute from your side. Okay, while we wait for Mpo. Sehu, you can go ahead.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is based on the test that we write, the test that we're writing on that day. So some of us are doing postgrad in financial accounting. So we're also writing multiple tests on that day. I wanted to find out on the uploads, are we uploading all those as one document at the end, or we're gonna have to split per module and upload them separately?
Doctor, can you help with these questions?
I beg your pardon, can Tsihu just repeat the question? Sorry, Richard.
Okay, so I was saying I had you mostly accommodated the CTA students. So there are also students like me who are doing their postgrad in financial accounting. So we're also writing multiple modules on that day. So when we finally done writing, as you were saying earlier on, that we don't have to scan every time we finish a test. I wanted to find out now, are we scanning the whole thing, all the modules as one combined documents, or we're gonna have to split the documents and then scan and upload multiple documents per the module?
Okay, thank you. You split and you scan per module. What I was referring to, let me give you an example. if the first session, which is the session before lunch, the tests which are written there, if it's AUE 4861, FAC 4861, and FAC 4862, I'm now using the course codes for CTA level 1 because that's where I think you are falling in, right, Seho? So
Yeah.
if you are right, so you must make a submission for FAC 4861 in its separate course code, and then you don't give us one document for all. What I meant by saying you can scan at the end, I meant for you to save time instead of trying to be uploading immediately. But if you are finished before you can start writing the second module, you can still upload. But I was just meaning for those students who are having all 3 modules and they are struggling, to say you don't have to immediately try to scan and upload. As long as you have written all of them, you scan them differently to their course codes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you too. Mamela, you can go ahead. I'll allow your microphone.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. My question is directed to Mem Ramushwana. I wanted you to please clarify on what you said earlier about CTA level 1 modules and CTA level 2, because I'm registered for CTA level 2 and I have all 5 modules, but I heard you earlier saying that CTA level 1 modules are the ones that have 5 modules, with accounting being separated into groups and the other accounting standards. So I wanted you to please clarify that for me. Am I supposed to have only registered for accounting and have 4 modules, or how is it? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the question. What I meant, CTA level 2, you also have 5 modules. However, for the 5th module, which is CAS 4801, it does not take the same fashion in terms of writing 4 tests and 1 exam. It does not have that same format. The CAS 4801 is a different module which is using what we call portfolios. So the assignments for that module are going to come in different dates. The first assignment is due somewhere in May. We open the assignment up for like a week, for example, and then you submit it on the deadline. And it's got 2 formative assessments, meaning it's got 2 assignments or tests, if you put it that way. And then it's got the final exam in October, which is also in the same fashion of a portfolio. And then if you don't make it in October, then it's got a supplementary assessment which will come in Jan. So on the 4 tests that you will be writing, the CAS 4801, which is that capstone module for CTA2, it doesn't feature on the date that you are writing the normal tests. That's what I meant. That's why you'll see when the communication comes, it will indicate for CTA level 2, you will see you'll only be writing 4 modules on the day of the 2nd of April. I'm not sure if I'm clear or you're not covered, Madlamini.
No, thank you, ma'am. You're clear. Lastly, can
Okay.
I please ask if maybe where can we find like a document detailing all the steps for this IRIS thing and where to start? Because I saw that there's somewhere where we have to go to my exams, then IRIS. So can we, if possible, have like a detailed document with all the steps so that we know how to do it on our own after this? Thank you.
Okay, so I will link the site again. So the site actually gives you all the steps. So if I go here back to, I'll just go back to the main page. Go all the way back. So if you go actually through the steps, so this is more for the exams, but you will be following all of the steps basically as per the site. If you also go to the mock, or not mock exams, the proctoring tools section, it covers the iris invigilation. This gives you a video as well for the setup and the setup instructions. But I really advise you to also have a look at the official iris website where they give you all the steps to set it up. Once you've done it once, you'll see it's actually very easy. So go have a look at it, do the mock exam that's on here. You'll see once you've done it once, it's actually very easy to do from there. But I will share this link to the site so that you do have access to it to view all the resources.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then Comfort, just allow your microphone. You can go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to ask, are we allowed to print out our question papers? And another question is like, with regards to auditing and tax and accounting, since we also use standards, won't we be flagged like as copying when we are using our handbooks during the day of the test? Thank you.
Yeah, Doctor, you can go ahead. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Richard. For open book, you won't be flagged. So the books that must be used, please make sure that you are not using a prescribed book like your descriptive accounting or silk for taxation, etc. Please make sure that you just stick to the books that the SICA handbooks and standards that you are supposed to use, and you won't be flagged for that because we are aware of the set of books that you must use. And then you ask another question about printing. That's the one that Richard also covered, to say you need to tell if you are printing and your printer is not close to where you are seated, next to the table where you are seated, you need to tell Iris that I've printed my paper, I'm quickly collecting the paper. So you don't just stand up and walk away without notifying Iris where you are going. So you need to tell it, I'm quickly fetching my question paper, and then you come back to say, I'm here, and then you continue to write, so that it doesn't flag you as someone who might have left to go look for answers elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next one is Annalise. You can go ahead. I'm just going to allow your microphone.
Okay. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I just want to make sure if I'm understanding this correctly in terms of the process now. So let's say you have installed the app and set it up. So during the test, with regards to, let's say, for example, we're writing 4 tests on the day, right? So are the tests all written in one go, or are they split, right? So we have maybe a break in between. That's my first question. And then also, maybe is it better to just communicate every single thing you do, so that you, if that you, okay, am I making sense? Like maybe communicating to Iris everything, that might be a flag. So communicating that you're taking a paper and all of that, right? And then also with printing, I want to ask, are we allocated a separate time to print, maybe like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, or is it included in the reading time? How does it work in terms of the whole process? Okay, you have an hour to write, then reading, maybe it's 15 minutes. Are we given a time to print out and the paper before we read it? How does the whole, can the lecturer please just walk us through the process of how, if I was writing it on the day, it would happen? I don't know if, yes, that's basically what I want. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So in terms of the communication, you don't need to communicate everything. But what I also advise sometimes, especially if you're going to be using open books, the textbooks that you will be using, just lift it up to show the book that you are, to the camera, that it knows it's using the correct books. But I saw the doctor unmuted the mic for the complete process in terms of the reading time. Usually the printing, all of that falls within the reading time. So I'll just let the doctor walk you through.
Thank you, Richard. Okay. As I indicated, we're going to send out a communication very shortly. We're just finalizing the smaller issues on it. So the morning session, normally it starts at 8:30. So from 8:30 to 8:45, that 15 minutes that you have there is the 15 minutes to make sure that you've downloaded the question paper and you've activated Iris. So the downloading time, as I indicated, that you've got two sessions, the morning session and the afternoon session. You've got 15 minutes for each session, meaning in the morning, I'll make an example like I did earlier. Let's say if you are writing CTA level 1, you'll have 3 modules in the morning. And then if it's AUE 4861, FSC 4861, and FSC 4862, you're going to then make sure that you've got 15 minutes where you download and you activate your Iris. And then you're going to then download your question paper, and then that 15 minutes, we've made sure that you will download, let's say out of these 3 papers that are indicated, maybe you are starting with AUE 4861. You download that paper, you activate your Iris between 8:30 and 8:45. And then from 8:45 to 9 o'clock, that is your 15 minutes reading time. Remember, this is a 40-mark test, so your reading time is only 15 minutes. So your reading time and your download time is split. It's not one time. But you must just make sure that you download, activating your Iris, and then you'll start your reading time. And then when you are done with that, you make sure that you've got, as I indicated when I was explaining earlier on, that you have the 1 hour to write that test, that AUE 4861, and then you'll be done with it. And then the next paper, let's say it's FAC 4861, and then between 10 o'clock, now that is after your 1 hour that you have written AUE 4861, now between 10 and 10:15, it's another 15 minutes. That 15 minutes now, you are downloading and activating your Iris for FAC 4861, which is your paper 2 for the day. And then you are going to now have 15 minutes, which will be from 10:15 to 10:30 for your reading time. And then at 10:30, for an hour, you are going to write that FAC 4861 module. It goes like that for the day. Then when you are done, you're going to have the third paper that will be in the morning. And please bear in mind, it's 3 modules for CTA level 1. So I'm repeating, for CTA level 1, in the first session before lunch, or we call it the morning session, you're going to have then 3 papers that you are going to be writing. For CTA level 2, it will only be 2 modules. And then from there, then you will download now the third paper, that is your CTA level 1, which will be say FAC 4862. I'm just giving an example here. Then you download it between 11:30 until 11:45, and between 11:45 and 12 o'clock, that's when your reading time starts. And then so it goes like that up until you are done. So you've got download time that you must download, and that's why we say when you are leaving the room, like what Richard has emphasized, you don't tell Iris each and every little thing, but when you are making things or movements that can make you to be flagged, like when you leave in the room to go collect a printout in the next door room, you need to make sure that Iris is aware. You've told Iris where you are going. So I hope that everything that I've said is making sense. And then when you are done, after writing, say between 12 and 1 o'clock, your third paper now, then you are going to have your 30 minutes to upload all the answer books if you didn't upload in between. I hope that I am clear. If I'm not clear, just tell me where I got you lost.
No, you are clear. Thank you. Okay, now I
Okay.
forgot. I forgot. No, you're clear. You can continue.
Okay, thank you, Sanalisa. Christian, you can go ahead. I'll just allow your microphone.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I have a couple of questions. That Iris prep process where you have to type in the module code and your student number and show a picture of your ID, etc. Does that need to be done before every test, or is it a once-off setup process?
No, so it's done actually before every test. You have to scan your, basically those 8 steps that you go through, you have to do it every time.
Okay, but as the doctor explained, we have those 15 minutes before each test for that, so that's okay. Then regarding the scanning, if we use our phone to scan, can we then email it to our MyLife UNISA emails on our laptops to be able to upload with our laptops?
Yes, yeah, so you can. So just remember, it will take screenshots of your desktop along the way. So it will see that you're uploading, going to your MyLife to get the file and then to upload it from there. So you don't need to worry about that.
Okay, so as long as we're not doing something dodgy, it's okay. We won't get flagged for accessing our MyLife email accounts.
No. Yeah,
okay.
Just don't go open ChatGPT or anything.
Great. Then lastly, I would just want to clarify what the doctor mentioned. So that finish recording on the Iris application, do we finish the recording after each test paper or only at the end of the morning session and then at the end again at the afternoon session? Or in between each paper?
The recording must be per module because remember what Iris does. It takes your I'm going back to the same module sequence that I've made an example with, right? So after you've written AUE 4861, which was your first module, you have to close your Iris recording and start that session for FAC 4861, which is for second paper. Reason being that each module looks at its own recordings. So if the recordings are bulked in one, you may be then flagged like you did not use Iris for the other two, because then it means your recording is only going to go to the one. And that's why we then give that 15 minutes of question paper downloading and activating of Iris per each test or per each module rather.
That's great. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Diketsu, I'll allow your microphone. You can go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. To be honest, this is like the first time I'm doing this, Iris. I know there's a lot of people that are like me because I saw on the chat. I'm actually flustered and a bit stressed because since I got the part of the extension, then I just became lost from then on. It was like I'm not hearing any language anymore.
No, so it's understandable. So that's why I say when we present it, it's a lot of information. So go have a look at the recording again. I'll share the link again to where we're going to upload the recording. But once you've basically got the extension in your browser, the hard part is done. So what you do is basically go to the mock exam. I'll link that as well. And then go and do that. You'll see it will pop up automatically. You follow the steps. It's very easy. It's basically just to select your camera and your screen, all of that. And then you'll see if you've done it once, then it's will come naturally the next time. So really just go have a look at the recording afterwards again. Go to the mock exam, do it. Really treat it like it would be a real exam. So you download your question paper, you start the iris invigilation, you perhaps write something out. So since you will need to be writing out, you scan it in, you upload it, you submit it on the mock exam, and then you go finally and you submit the final, how can I say, the iris submission. Then you'll see from there, if you got that process, then it will come very easy in the exams. Then I also want to mention we are going to have another session as well. So if, during this time you perhaps have any questions, remember if it's to do with IRIS, write to us at adovh@unisa.ac.za so we can help you out. We can also, if it's a technical problem, we'll forward it to the relevant technical team as well, then to help you assist if you have any problems. But if you've got the extension set up, go do the mock exam. You'll see it's actually very easy to do once you've done the process once.
Okay, can I ask, where will we access our exam, our tests? Is it on this ADOVH side, or is it on our like normal, what is it, my modules or CAS?
Let me just confirm with Dr. Ramashua. The ICT mentioned today to me that it will be on the My Exams portal. So
Yes,
it will be.
that's correct.
So let me paste that link for you in the chat. Got it here. Let me just quickly see set. Let me sort of share my screen so I can show you exactly. So you basically go to cas.myexams.unisa.ac.za. So I'll post it in the link in the chat. So keep this link safe. Is the chat over here? Pop it in there. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so basically this is where you will be submitting. It's on the exams portal. So you'll get familiar with this portal. It's exactly the same as my modules. So once you log in, it's because I'm now logged in with my student account. But once you log in, make sure as well, go do it even now. Click on the site, make sure that you can log in. If you get this error, for instance, it means that you've not been loaded to the site. So then you'll have to write to us so we can forward it to the technical team. So the link is in the chat. That's where you will log in. The rest of the process will then be a lot like this mock exam that we've got over here. So you will get to the site. It will have your assignment upload activity. Click on that. Iris will open. So just do these two, then you should be good to go. If you can access the exams site and you can do this mock exam that's over here, then you know you are ready for the day.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just add something, Richard?
Yes.
I think just to cement what you've just said, and to the Getso and the other students, the Adobe link that you are having today and you are using, it's primarily for us just to do the training and for you to be practicing. But on the day, you don't send or upload anything on the Adobe link. You're gonna go on My Exams. That's where you'll find your question paper, and then that's the only site that you will be using. Don't go to the Adobe site. It's just for Richard and the team as they are helping us to just have this workshop and the other one that we are going to have. But the other one that we are going to have, as Richard mentioned, is just the similar training. We are just catering for students who might not have been able to attend tonight, etc., etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Gustav. So Gustav Ladi, you can go ahead. You can just unmute from your side. Gustav Ladi, are you there? Okay, well, we wait. So I'm gonna see a Bonga. You can go ahead. Your mic is unmuted.
Hello, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I have two questions. The first one is regarding scanning. So when you scan, do you specifically have to use my live email address, or you can use any other email address? Because the scan that I use, it does not send the scan to any of those email addresses. It's got its own web address where it goes to. And then,
yes.
So the second, okay.
Yeah, so let's do the first one. So remember, your screen is going to be captured what you're doing. So they'll see you're going to go to a website where you get your scan. So you don't need to use your My Life. It can be a different one as well. So as long as there's no study material shown in while you are browsing there, then you should be good to go. And your second question?
Yeah, my second question is, will the final exams also be written on Iris?
Yes. So as far as I know, the final exams, you will actually then be able to go to the campus as well. So you still will use the same process on your laptop, Iris, but you can go to the campus basically where they are just there to support you during the exam process.
So in the campus, we won't be using Iris because there will be like
No,
normal
you will be.
invigilators.
No, there's no invigilators. There's only support staff. So you will still be using Iris. So it still remains an online exam.
Okay.
And you
All right,
will
thank
also have to take your own device. So it will be that you take your laptop to the exam venue.
Will the internet be provided?
Yes, internet is provided. So remember, if you also have very weak internet, we've got access centers all over the country. So you can go to the campus. You won't be able to use the computer lab, but most of the venues, the study areas, the quiet study areas, there are internet access in there as well. So you can take your laptop there, and if you want to connect to the internet. The internet is so good at these centers. You could even sit in your car and connect to the internet, to Wi-Fi, and even do it from there.
And all the printing devices will be provided and
Hold
scanning. I mean, the
No,
printing
so-
devices, the scanning.
So they
will-
do have printers, but if you want to print out, you'll have to pay for printing basically, and scanning you just use your phone.
Can I just
Yeah.
come through there, Richard?
Yes. Okay.
For the final exams, unfortunately, you can't print the question paper. Final exams, it's your laptop at campus, using Iris, and the support staff are there just as an additional layer to just assist you navigating through, but you don't print, you can't bring your printer at the UNISA centers. So hence, the printing, that's why it's not a compulsory thing. It's for those students who say they can't write without printing, but unfortunately for the final exam, you can't print. Thank you.
So let's say, for instance, you decide to write at home, will you then be allowed to have two screens? So where the other one is opening the question paper, and then the other one you maybe, oh, you said you can't, we can't type the answers basically, right?
No, so
So
you'll have to write it out.
Okay, all right, thank you
So
very much.
and remember, it won't allow the dual screen setup. So you'll have to switch off or unplug the one monitor for that. But yeah, you can have it on the screen in front of you while you are writing on the exam paper.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Okay. Aquarella, you can go ahead. Let me just allow your microphone. Aquarella, you can unmute.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm one of those who are writing postgraduate in financial accounting. I'm not writing all 5. So I wanted to know, like, let's say I'm writing at the first section, only one from the first section, and then the other one, let's say, is the last one. So when do I get to the exam, and then like when am I supposed to upload? Let's say for first morning section, it's only financial accounting 2, and then the other one is tax at the last section. So I want to know, when do I come in, like early in the morning until the last paper?
Okay,
Yeah.
so remember, for the tests, it will be where you do it at home. So you'll come in the morning for the one, and then you basically submit, you do the iris, submit, and then you basically can take a nap and then come back for the afternoon one. But Doctor, you can go ahead.
Thank you. So let's say you are writing text 4861 and FAC 4861, and maybe text 4861 is the first module. So by 8:30, you'll be sitting so that you can do that 15 minutes download and activation of Iris. You write for an hour, and then you've got your 10 minutes to scan and upload. Remember the 30 minutes that I spoke about for scanning and uploading at the end of the first session. It's for the 3 modules, so it's 10 minutes per module. So you need to write only for an hour, as you are supposed to write for an hour. And then the 10 minutes after you've written is the one that you must then scan and upload for that module. And please make sure that you do submit within that 10 minutes, because the system will show that you are only writing taxation in the first morning session. And if you are going to submit later than that time that's allocated there, then your script is not going to be marked. So you need to make sure that you stick to that. You're writing only for an hour, and then you then scan and upload. And then then you'll come back for the second session for your FAC 4861 if it's written in the afternoon session. Then for the examination, you don't have the difficulty of taking a nap, as Richard has said, because each module is written on its day. There's one exam for taxation on its own day, and then there's another day for FAC 4861. I'm not sure if I clarify.
You have answered. I just wanted to ask the last one, with regards to exam. You talk about the campus. So which campus are you talking about? Because we are from different places.
So it will be within the closest one to you within your region. So remember, each region has got usually a campus. So for instance, here in the Western Cape, we've got a Cape Town campus. And then we've also got centers. So for instance, in George will be a center. So depending where you are, if it's Pretoria, it's Sunnyside, Joburg will be the Joburg center. There's the Florida center. So all regions have quite a lot of centers. So you will go to the closest one.
Oh, okay. So do we need to register to go to the campus, or we just walk in to your nearest campus?
Can I come through there?
Yes.
Okay. Towards the end of the year, we normally write the exams, say the first 2 weeks in October. So somewhere around September, we normally through our DSAA, that is the examination department, you will get the surveys, because we do know that some students, maybe you registered in Jan when you are staying in Polokwane, but maybe for work purposes come October, you are based in KZN, and then we do those surveys where then you indicate where you are going to be at during that October examination, and then the center which is closer to where you have indicated your location for that time is normally the one that's allocated to you. But there are other centers which are very small. So for example, when you are based in Johannesburg or writing in Johannesburg in October, you'll notice that Florida might not be the one of the campuses to be used in Johannesburg, because it does not have adequate space to allow for parking. And then instead of using Florida, then the biggest center in Johannesburg is Omonde. So you'll have Omonde, you'll have the Joburg CBD, and then you'll have one center at the around Val, but you will be allocated using the nearest center that's to you, based also on the capacity of the center. So normally a center like Sunnyside in Pretoria or Omonde in Johannesburg are one of the biggest sites. So that's where you'll be placed if you are in Pretoria, Sunnyside, or if you are in Johannesburg, Omonde. But that part, let's not worry too much about it, because that's the part that we will be dealing with around September, towards the end of the year examinations. So for now, for the tests, we don't put that survey out, because as we indicated earlier on, you are writing from home for the
Okay.
tests.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Aquarela. Didi Malang, you can go ahead. I'll just allow your microphone.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening.
Yeah, probably just a clarity. I think I had a question around writing the test, whether we can write the test at the campus, and also is there a computer lab that we can use, or you can bring your own laptop? That's the first question, probably a clarity.
Okay, so remember at the campuses, the computer labs do not have cameras and all of that for iris. So what they do at the campuses is you can just go to your campus where you want to write. They have study spaces that you can use. So they usually allow you with your own device, you can use one of the study spaces to write. So it's usually quiet study spaces that they can allocate. But just make sure with your closest center whether they have space, and then if you can make use of the space on the day of the exam or the test.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that.
Okay.
And then also the second question, I mean, we all know that load shedding is it's one of our biggest challenge that we have as a country. So is there any measure alternative that's been made for a student if I'm writing a test and I need to scan my answers, and the next thing I experience load shedding? What other measures alternative do I have to prove, or do I need to prove that there was load shedding? What do I need to do?
I'm gonna ask Dr. just to explain in the college how they deal with it. With the general ones, they always say you have to prepare on your own. But let me just ask from Dr. Ramashua if they've got a different method.
Okay.
We don't have a different method, Richard, because as the university would say, Let's try to check the load shedding schedule. I do know that the load shedding schedule is beyond everyone living in this country, but we just don't have, as a college, we don't have any other means, and the submission has to be made within that time. So normally what the students have done in previous years was to just try and check the load shedding schedule for the day that they are writing and try to see if the load shedding schedule in their area is clashing with, say, for example, the afternoon session, maybe between 1 o'clock and 1:30 when they're supposed to make the submission. And others, normally they said they moved around to go to the areas where they can upload. It's a very difficult situation and unfortunate one. However, the college does not have any provision or any way that we can really help. Thank you.
So just a follow-up. So it happens that it's load shedding. I need to submit my answer script, and obviously, I mean, it's out of everyone's control. And me moving around, probably I need to drive about 30 minutes or an hour to get to that place where I need to submit, and I'm required to submit within a specific time or required time. Will my script be accepted if I have proof to say, yes, here's your schedule, I was affected by load shedding. However, I've sent this via email within time. It's just that I couldn't upload due to load shedding. Will that be accepted?
No, so that will not be accepted. So what I would say is the schedule is, you should then be at the spot where you won't be having load shedding when you're uploading before you start. So rather, check your schedule. You say, especially if you have to drive so far, make sure that you can get to an area to write rather that is not affected by load shedding. So this is also a place where, if you can perhaps make use of a center because they have generators that's run that you can access it. We've even had students in the past where they had to drive, for instance, say 10 minutes or so to be within that half an hour, where you can also take your laptop with, to get to a spot where you can upload. But remember, it is basically one of the responsibilities on you is just to make sure that you are at the place where you won't be affected by load shedding for your upload time. And if you suspect you are going to be, then rather look for an area or a venue that you can use that will not be affected by load shedding.
Sure, it's a tricky one, hey.
It's very hot one.
Yeah, if I have the means, I mean, let's say I have the means, but for a student who doesn't have the means to do that, it's a bit tricky. But anyway, thanks.
I wish we can get rid of this load shedding. Thank you, Kedimalang. I see it is getting quite late, so I'm just going to cap it. So the last one that we will do is Aisha. So just the 12 hands that's up now. So if we just quickly have a look. TD, you can go ahead. I'll just allow your microphone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to check about this load shedding. Sometimes it is not going to be load shedding per se. Maybe it can be cable theft. They also accommodate those cable theft.
No, so it will also be, you can always write in afterwards. You can go perhaps for a supplementary, but it won't be accepted if you submit late. So that's why, it's always just a good advice to have, make sure you've got a cell phone that you can perhaps hotspot with, or that your laptop is charged for when you submit, so that you can still submit it if you run out of electricity.
Okay. And then I think the second question is that, let's say I do have the option for maybe, let's say, on my area, there's a load shedding. Can I go to can we share the room with other fellow students, or only one per room?
Preferably only one per room, because they will pick up, especially if the other person is also talking to a camera or anything like that. So you can be in a close vicinity, but rather try and keep in a separate room or separate area within a bigger area where they won't be picked up.
Okay. So I wanted to know also about the disqualification. Can you please enlighten us what disqualification can be? Because some of us, we are new, we don't know IRIS. What are some disqualification that you encountered before last year and that they were using last year, so that we must be aware of it?
So yes, so any basically academic dishonesty. So if you've got crypt notes on you, if you've got a website that you're browsing for questions, if you keep getting messages, WhatsApp groups to share information. So there's such a wide area, but what I can tell you is, each of those cases are investigated individually. So, say the iris flags you, for instance, because you were looking around quite a lot. Somebody will still actually go look at, what's happening on your screen, what's happening around you, what is being talked about, only if they can confirm that the academic dishonesty has taken place, then they take action. So, rather just make sure that you are honest from your side, then you should be good to go. It's really that they will, flag you for no reason.
Okay. And then I heard that they say it also affect the noise, the outside noise. Is it outside noise or is inside within your room, or is outside? It can describe what kind of noise is it from outside or inside.
So they actually use AI algorithms, so it'll pick up when somebody is actually talking to you. So if it's just noise outside, hammer, drilling, all of that, it's won't pick it up. It's only detects voice and when it's spoken voice. And that voice, if it gets flagged, somebody will listen to it and say, oh, did somebody just walk in to ask you if you want coffee? Or was it somebody that came to ask you about a specific question that's you're writing on?
Okay. I was just saying, maybe let's say we when we're writing at our places, remember that time maybe when we are busy, kids, it's the school out, the kids maybe will come and just play outside. Maybe we'll say to them, going to tell them they are making noise. So is it going to pick up that thing, or it's not going to do that, or it's going to pick up that station?
Yeah, so don't worry if it's just general noise at the back or if it's kids running around screaming. Remember, if it's going to get flagged, somebody's going to listen to it and say, oh, it's the kids. So,
Okay.
or it's the cat or the dog or something like that, that they only look for when you're discussing the material that you're writing on.
Okay. And then my last
Okay.
question is that since we'll be printing the question paper, are we allowed also to maybe to jot it down while we're writing the question paper, and are we allowed to scan also those question paper, or it's only our answer sheet that we have to scan it?
So it's only your answer paper that you scan in. Previously with other exams, say you've got a page that you take notes on, for instance. Just show it to the camera to say, this is my notes page, so they know it's not, something that you have before, or, so just make sure you show it to the camera, but you don't need to upload it necessarily.
Okay, we may just show the camera.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's up for now. The only thing is that this load shedding, sometimes you know your schedule, but they just decided to just do the load shedding while you are in the middle of the exam. So I don't know.
So the best advice there is, if you're going to be using a laptop, just make sure it's charged and that you perhaps have a mobile phone that you can use for the uploading, hotspot to it if you do lose any electricity.
Okay. And then I want to know about the uploading time. And then let's say you missed the uploading, you are busy uploading, and then you messed up maybe with 10, maybe they gave you 15 minutes and then you messed up, maybe you extended to 16 minutes. Are they gonna allow it or are they gonna disqualify you?
So remember, they do give you that 30 minutes afterwards just for uploading. So remember also, that's when you should start the uploading process. So especially, you first submitted on, in this case, the My Exams portal. After that, after you submit it, you start the uploading process with the Iris app. If your connection is, low and it takes a long time, as long as it's started within that period, it takes it from the time you start the uploading process in Iris, because that's the timestamp when you start it. So if it takes half an hour then, or an hour afterwards, as long as you just leave it to finish the uploading process in the Iris app.
Okay, no, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Siri.
Bye.
Sorry, hey, Thara, you can go ahead. I'm just going to allow your microphone, or you can just unmute.
How's it, guys? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks again for the session. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to go a step back maybe, or just a quick summary, because I'm a bit confused on when do you actually start the IRIS program. Do you start it, for example, so I have my test one open here. So for example, the first session is at 8:30, right? And that's your download time is from 8:30 to 8:45, your download time. And then your reading time is from 8:45 to 9. And then your actual paper time is from 9 to 10. So when do you start the IRIS application? And then the follow-up question is, when do you have to upload the paper and then end the IRIS application, or can you end the IRIS application, for example, at 10 when the first paper is over, and then upload after the third session, for example, because I'm in CTA level 1. Because I know the doctor did mention that we have 30 minutes at the end of the first session. So I'm a bit confused there. Do you have to upload your paper, then end the IRIS session for paper 1, or how does it work? Sorry.
Dr. Rameshwar, can you will you just quickly help there?
Okay, so
do they upload after each session to Iris and My Exams?
the upload for Iris, you must close the Iris recording for each module. Say at 10 o'clock, the writing time for the first module is done. You need to then close the Iris, because remember, Iris, you activate it as you are downloading the paper. So when you're downloading at 8:30 to 8:45, you're activating it only for the one module that you are writing, number 1. And then you must then make sure that you close that Iris at the end at 10 o'clock to make sure that the recordings for that module, they'll go to that module. When you're starting to download the question paper for module 2, you start it at 10 and now activate the Iris for that module. So the upload, that's why I had said, the upload of the question paper, some students are able to immediately, before they go and do the download for the second, the download of the second question paper, they are able to upload. If you can upload your answer script, you can. If you can't, you can then do all the scripts upload for each module at the end of the first session. So, but the Iris, each module must have its own Iris recording, and you close, and then as the time has lapsed, and then before you start to activate Iris for the second subject.
Okay, and thank you so much.
Are you
And
covered?
also, yeah, I just confused again with another point. Is there two websites that we're going to be uploading our papers for? Or on, sorry. Because I heard that we have to upload on my exams and also on Iris, so that's a bit confusing.
No, Iris is within the app. You just set a plugin. So once it's done, you say submit. It will start its upload process automatically, and you can even minimize it. So the only place where you will upload your, how can I say, your script will be on the My Exams portal.
Oh, so when you say upload Iris, you mean upload the Iris logs?
Yes, so you just say
not the
submit,
script.
and
Oh,
then,
okay, cool.
yeah, okay. That's when it
Okay,
uploads
so I
the
got
videos, the
confused.
recordings, all those things.
Okay, perfect. No, cheers. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, pleasure. In Debbie, you can go ahead. I'm just going to allow your microphone so you can unmute.
Hi.
Right, we can hear you.
My question was also related to what the previous student just asked with regards to the upload and the finishing of Iris. So I just want clarity on if I'm to stop to finish Iris after each test. I don't need to upload my exam answer sheet right then. I can always upload it afterwards. Iris doesn't get affected with the upload of the answer script.
So rather what you do is you upload it on My Exams, where you submit your test, and then you stop Iris and then let it start its upload process.
So if I don't have enough time for me to upload the my script, can I still stop Iris?
So you must remember you get that half an hour. So basically, you have to submit on your script. You upload it to My Exams, and you can even do it almost at the same time. So as you starting to upload your script, you stop the Iris, and that will also start its upload process.
Okay, and then the last question is if I start uploading, if I finish Iris and it's still uploading, can I start the next test while it's still uploading the previous test? Say my internet is slow.
Yeah, so if you want to have two instances of Iris running at the same time, so all you need to do is the one that's uploading, minimize it so it closes off,
Okay.
and then open another one to continue on that one. Because once it starts uploading, it doesn't record anymore, anything like that. It just basically starts uploading.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, pleasure. Denise, Ali, you can go ahead. You just allow your microphone.
Sorry, Richard, before the next student comes through, I literally just have like 2 minutes remaining. I have to go into another meeting we're finalizing the supplementary, so I have to go there waiting for me there.
Oh, okay. No, thanks for letting us know. Denise, you can go ahead. Denise, while we're waiting for
Can
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
I'm
we can
sorry,
hear you.
technical issue.
No problem.
Okay, I kind of followed what happened, but I got stuck. So I got the Iris app through Google Chrome, but now when I was to try it out through the mock exam, it did not pop up or anything. And I was trying to look where it can help, so I just need assistance in that part, please.
Okay, so it didn't pop up. Did you install it while the page was open with the mock exam?
I first thought of that, and then I uninstalled it. Sorry, then I said, let me just close everything and reinstall it again, and still nothing.
So what you can try and do is, I'm just quickly going to share my screen here.
Okay.
So say it pops up. So I go in here, it pops up. Say it closes, for instance. So sometimes you might get here a message, pop-up blocked. If you just have a look at the stop bar, make sure that pop-ups are allowed.
Which
What you can do is,
sorry, may you please just zoom because I'm trying to find out where I went wrong.
okay, so let me zoom in here a bit. Is it a bit bigger?
Okay, it's just reflecting a little bit slow. My laptop now is playing games. Okay, now I can see it. Yes, it's a bit bigger.
Okay, so just have a look here. It's usually in the top bar here. It will show if there's like a red, indicator. Yeah, so it will perhaps say that it was a pop-up that was blocked. Then you just, allow the pop-up. So that's the one thing you can check. And then the other thing you can do is also just refresh the page. Then it should pop up again. If this gives you, so one thing that you can also do, you can always also navigate backwards and then forward again, and then it should also pop up. If you're having problems with your specific browser of, say now Chrome in your instance, have a look and try Microsoft Edge, because sometimes you might have another extension that might be blocking things from popping up. So just then use Microsoft Edge, even if you just use it for Iris, you notice no other extensions or apps interfering with it.
Crazy part, right? I also went for Microsoft Edge and I still have the same issue.
And it doesn't pop up at all.
No, it doesn't pop up. And now it's like, okay, the locking part, I've not tried it yet. But the other things of refreshing and everything, I've done it, but it does not pop up.
Yeah, what you can also try and do is if you go here to settings, and then you can basically go to history.
Okay.
So you clear browsing data now. So you just look for this one. It's usually under clear cache or browsing history. You just choose what to clear. You don't need to clear your passwords and all of that type of thing. But then just clear it for, you can even say all time, just to make sure there wasn't the previous something captured at the, at the back end. And then also, always just make sure that the extension is installed. But then what I would say, if you're still having a problem, rather send us an email at ADOVH, and then we can direct you to one of the technical assistants as well. That can perhaps meet with you and just walk you through the process.
Right, perfect. At this part of the video, because I know it's very long, will it be uploaded where you explain to me properly, like where I'm asking the question, please?
Yes, so we basically try and keep the recording to capture everything, all the Q&As as well.
All right, now thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Bernice. Let me just have a look. So our last one then for today is Juliet. So I'm just going to allow the microphone for you. Juliet, you can go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. So I've got two questions. The first question, I know you mentioned that you can scan the documents on your phone and then email the documents and then upload on my exam. So the question is it possible to scan on my phone, but instead of emailing, can I upload on my UNISA on my phone?
Yes, no, so you definitely can. So if you have an app, say like for instance the OneDrive app or your scanning app, you save it to your phone, you log into the cas.myexams website and you upload it directly from your phone. So you don't need to download or email it to your computer for uploading. You can actually do it directly on your phone as well.
All right, thank you. And my second question is, I normally set alarm clocks for the time so that I'm aware that now I need to wrap up things. Will that be a problem this time now that we're using Iris?
No, it won't be a problem. Even the baby in the background won't be a problem.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Juliet. I'll quickly allow Young Killer, just the last one. I saw your hand just came up. We'll just take you as the last one. Killer, you can go ahead. Yeah, not getting an answer. So just then for Bongani, we'll make Bongani then the last one. If you can meet from your side.
Guys.
Hi, really.
So I have one question. Are you based in Cape Town, Kamas, which is Paro, Richard?
Yes, I'm actually based in the Paro campus. I'm not always there. I'm a lot of times on the road. But if you have any questions at the Paro campus, just look for Sivu or Mubashir as well. They've got all the technical expertise and can help you.
Okay, Sivu, ne?
Sivu, yes.
Sivu. Okay, I think I'll go
Yeah,
maybe
he's
tomorrow.
usually in the computer lab. You can just ask for Sivu. You can ask for Mubashir, or you can even ask them, to quickly give me a call if I'm not there.
Oh, okay. Now I'll go. And because I struggled during the session, I must say. Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay. Okay, thanks for coming. So, guys, unfortunately, we've reached the end of the questions. We all have to head off to our other engagements. But thank you, everybody, for joining. So I'll upload the recording now as soon as it's processed. Remember, we are going to have another session, so go test it out. If you have any problems, make contact with us on email. If you can go to a campus close to you or center, UNISA center, the staff there will also be able to assist you within the labs. But thank you, everybody, for joining, and all the best with your preparations and your tests. I hope you all do very, very well. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you to our students for bearing with us and coming through. And we would like to wish you all the best with test one. Just go prepare and do well. We are all anxious to just see you doing well, and we will send through the communication as soon as possible. We just need to finalize the schedule of the test for the day, and then we'll send it through. And then to those who are waiting for the sub results, all the best. They are gonna come through as soon as we possibly can, and we just want to wish you all the best. And please remember, other issues, you just need to pray, and just God will see you through. And I will be praying for all of you. And thank you so much to Richard and the team, David and them. And thank you to all my colleagues as well who've joined the call. And thank you to all of you, the students. Goodbye and all the best.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.